And let's talk about that, how to set up your and structure your pay-per-click campaign for minimum cost per lead and maximum return of investment. So first, you should set up your conversion tracking. What I mean by that is, we are talking about Google Ads, but I told you that is only one thing on your overall online marketing world, right? Every single lead that you create, that you really need to know how you got this lead. Well, you can ask your customer, how did you find us? This is a good way. But I can tell you, like an electronic answer, when you look at like the electronic footprint that lead just followed, because before just converting from the website can be sometimes different. Because when people say we find you on Google, you don't really know it's an organic, or maybe they click on your ad, right? Sometimes they just see your ad on Facebook and they just Google your name. Here we go. They will tell you, I found you on Google. Sometimes they don't even remember how you find it, but that kind of asking customer how you find us question may skew your results. It's not a good way to kind of understand what we do it kind of using Google Analytics. Google Analytics helps us to understand how this lead just came. And there are like different things like UTM campaigns with a little technical detail. But if you want to go a little dive, just note UTM, U as an umbrella, T as in Thomas, M as in Mary, UTM campaigns to understand this conversion tracking strategy, right? But it's a big must, because you need to know if this customer came from Google Ads, even Facebook, or your SEO, or maybe you just converted from, let's say, a different website, just like House or Home Advisor. So it's a big question and a necessity. Smaller ad groups. We just said that in the beginning of the conversation today. Smaller ad groups is important just because one ad group per one service. When you are talking about bathroom modeling, you shouldn't send those people to your text ad should match with your service offering. That's why we are doing that, and we are just break these kind of similar into smaller pieces, and then we go from there. Match types. Yep. Today we are not going to discuss about match types, but there are exact match, phrase match, and broad match types that we are using to understand Google's structure. Believe me, Google just giving you the very cool information. They created great videos. Even I cannot even tell you better than them. But just again, the second thing that you really need to know is the match types. And negative keywords. I'm going to talk about negative keywords, but match types I'm going to talk about positive keywords too. But the match types is how you play the game. Text ads, it has to resonate with what the customer type and kind of trying to see. You can use responsive ads to just match your customers. Like the target keyword that they're near typing in Google use its own AI to show and just customize the ad piece, the ad copy, depending on what customer put on the search bar. So responsive search ads are really good. They're really cheap, just because you're giving Google flexibility. So they're really cheap. And depending on, comparing to the other ad types like text ads or expanded text ads, or responsive search ads are really cheap. And definitely you will be testing. You should really need to test. Google will be giving you a lot of information about these click-through rates, about that, that we talk about our, let's say, cost per click, right? Cost per click and cost per lead. If you have your conversion tracking in place, Google Ads can only track the ones that is you're getting from Google, right? Google Ads, you just have like the Google ad campaigns, and you can basically understand how many leads that you got from Google Ads, specifically from Google Ads. And when you look at your total budget, yes, you can just make the comparison, and you can say, okay, I spent this amount of money and I had that amount of leads. You know the names, right? You know the names, since you know the conversion tracking in place, you know who these people are, then you can just go there and make your own calculation. But the testing, split testing, and tweaking and fine-tuning, again, you're talking to an algorithm here. You're not talking to a human. You are talking to an algorithm here, and this algorithm may be tricked in different ways. You may tweak something Well, if it's working really good, don't try to tweak that. You don't really need fine tuning. You just leave it as it is. But if you believe it's not working really well, you should try to maybe try a little higher cost per click, or try to differentiate the target locations, right? That could be maybe the game changer when you're looking at the same campaign.